So those people then that want to be healed and they live in fear, that fear has to be addressed. I mean, and it's not easy because it's hardwired deep in the limbic brain. It's just a safety net. It's a mechanism. So then imagine being in the unknown. The instinct in the unknown is it's a scary place. Wow, imagine not having a body. And we practice lingering without a body in an infinite space, and without a name, without a face, without a culture, without a job, without a social security number, without a disease, without a diet, just as an awareness. You practice that. You're going to be comfortable in the unknown. You're going to relax more into it. That's going against thousands of years of programming. And the people who actually overcome their fear and they trade it for gratitude, their immune system gets stronger, their genes upregulate. I mean, there's just a host of everything changes. Their brain changes, their heart rate variability. They feel differently, and it's being measured. And some of these people, we're measuring this now in our events with reputable scientists in universities. They're shocked at what they're witnessing on a cellular level, on a brain level, on a heart level. They cannot believe the capacity of the body. I just got an email today of one of our scientists said, I ran this 3 times. The virus that we expose the cell to in advanced meditators does not enter the cell. It's outside the cell. It won't. A virus in novice meditators, some of it's in the cell, some of it's outside. Controls all the viruses in the cell. There's an immunity. So when the person's less reactionary to their environment, there's less of response that weakens them, they're less of a victim to their environment, then they're less of a victim to their environment. Large scale, small scale, the body has a greater immunity to whatever it is. And that's the truth. That is the truth. We're measuring that. So you never know the outcome when a person really catches that thought that leads to the same choice, that leads to the same behavior, that creates the same experience, that produces the same emotion, that discomfort, that unpredictability, that uncertainty. That's the side effect of leaving the known. That's what change is about, and learning how to be comfortable in it. And instead of just white-knuckling it, go, oh, I have some tools to self-regulate. I'm in fear. Oh, excuse me. And you excuse yourself, and you change that. And then you're there. And then here comes the fear again. Excuse me. And I always say, if not now, when? Now is the new later. Like, don't wait. And so the person who's no longer about healing their disease, it's about overcoming their fear. Their attention is off their disease, and their identity is changing because we're not identifying with it anymore. Now they're looking at something right in the face, and now once they're engaged, they're showing up every day, just like a workout. There's pain involved. We can move through it a little bit more, and the volume is lowered, and their response to people and circumstances are different. And then they know they're changing because people say to them, I just saw this just yesterday. People say to them, something about you is different. What is it? You get a little work done? Are you on a new medication? Because their memory of them is different. They're out of phase. We don't see things how they are. We see things how we are. So we fill in reality based on memory, and all of a sudden the person's out of phase. They're not remembering them that way. They're not that. They're in the unknown, and it's obvious. And then all of a sudden, people get raises, and they get all these great things going on. Why? Because they're leading by example. It's not what they're saying; it's who they are, and they're less responsive, and they have more patience, and they're practicing being in their heart. And when they're in their heart, they're more patient, they're more kind, they're more loving, they're more giving, and you can't create a future without putting your heart into it. And if you're throwing your heart into your future, it better be activated and coherent. And so we measure that stuff because it becomes a science, and that is the language of mysticism.